We were getting a bit too self-confident, too self-assured, weren't we? A lot of us were double jabbed. Many of us had also received the booster, and we thought that we'd actually overcome this nasty virus, this pandemic, and we can get on with our normal lives as if it didn't exist. In fact, every time I used to receive a circular from Transport for London, in which it would say, and we thank all our customers on buses and trains who are subscribing to our recommendation to keep their face masks on when they're traveling, I was a bit surprised. I thought the TfL inspectors who are checking all those people who are subscribing to the recommendation for face masks must be in all the other buses that I'm not taking. Because I tell you, every single bus and every single train I've used, more people than not, and more by numbers, no longer wore face masks. Moreover, even in supermarkets, sanitizers have almost disappeared. Even the security people and the people who work in supermarkets aren't using face masks either. Self-assured, self-confident. Well, we thought we were over it. We thought we were cruising toward a nice Christmas and New Year celebrations. And the government was doing everything it could to instill in us this sense of false confidence. I don't want to be a doomsday prophet. I don't want to heap upon you news of doom and gloom, but yesterday and today, I think we woke up once again. So welcome to Arm Wrestling with COVID-19 in London. This is my number 53 with a flickering nocturnal image to it. Why this image? First, I thought I'll experiment something new. And of course, not being good at technology, neither me nor my computer could deal with it. But I thought it's good enough and I will leave it. At least it's different. So what happened yesterday and today? Well, what happened is very simple. A new strain of the COVID virus, scientifically labeled as B.1.1529, which had undergone heavy mutations, was discovered in one of those genotype experiments. And this particular virus strain stood out because it contained more than 30 changes to the spike protein. Now that is a lot of changes, and that made the scientific community, and I suppose hurriedly, politicians anxious. Politicians everywhere, the scientific community everywhere. Now, where was this strain detected? It was detected in South Africa, and apparently it was already present in 5 African countries. Then a traveler had taken the strain to Hong Kong, and today we found out that Belgium has also got a case of this new B.1.1.529 strain. And of course, like previous strains, Alpha, Delta, what have you, we were expecting a name for this new strain. And yesterday, people were predicting that it would be called the new strain, new as in NU, which is the 13th letter of the Greek alphabet, if I'm not mistaken. And it relates, again, you probably could correct me on this, but I think it derives from Nun, which originates in the Phoenician language and refers to serpents in some way or another. But today, I found out that this new strain is not called new, it is called Omicron. And the difference is that Omicron is the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet, and it has something to do, again, you can correct me, it has something to do, I believe, with stars and constellations. So as a consequence of this new discovery, this new strain, with so many changes to the spike protein, scientists got very worried, and that made politicians worried, including those in our country, in the UK, in Ireland, across the whole of Europe, which was already witnessing a surge. Remember, Austria had already gone into a full lockdown. Germany was following suit. Netherlands, Denmark, all these countries were getting already very uneasy. And now we have this additional layer of concern, big concern, this new Omicron variant of the COVID virus. And everybody is now talking, will the vaccines that a lot of people had wisely taken, will the vaccines help? Will it produce enough antibodies to be a protection for men, women, and children? Would the T cells in the body work as well? And the answer, of course, because science is supposed to be a certain fact, but nobody knows, because nobody has actually been able to, it's a new discovery, nobody really knows. So here we go, self-confident, self-assured, and then boom, this comes up and everybody is sort of concerned. Anti-vaxxers are saying, oh, the media is hyping this up, there's nothing wrong, this is just like any other variant, this is all a conspiracy, a plot. And other people who are concerned, who think a bit more rationally, in my opinion, are worried that this is going to probably mess up our end of year plans, travels, hopes, celebrations, reunions, encounters, health, whatever you want to call it. In fact, as you might well know already, here in the United Kingdom, we've already stopped flights from South Africa. I think the last BA flight landed today. Now, okay, these are the facts, as succinctly as I can put them. Now, the question is, why did we get here? And what are the measures that we are taking? Stopping flights from South Africa or from the whole of the African continent is not going to resolve the problem. I have this sense of foreboding that we're going to witness yet again another topsy-turvy period where we will have to deal with this new strain and its consequences. And why do I say with some regret and some cynicism that stopping a flight here or a flight there is not going to do much? I think that is only politicians who are helpless, who are trying to impress us, in some way calm us down by saying, oh, don't worry, we've stopped flights from South Africa, everything is going to be all right. Really? Unless we are a total island like New Zealand and we just lock ourselves in that island, as New Zealand did to some effect, and therefore nobody comes in and nobody goes out, unless we can do that, and we are not such an island, it's not going to work. Because, okay, so we stop flights from South Africa. Do you know how much travel there is between South Africa and India? Somebody goes from South Africa to India and then comes from India to the UK, carrying that strain. Hey ho, tomorrow, if it's not here already, tomorrow it will be here. So all this is only make believe, in a sense, or a sign of our helplessness, a sign of how to deal with it, how to contain it, how to calm people's concerns and anxieties. But instead of playing the role of ostriches, and yes, I know ostriches do not stick their heads in the sand. That's a popular misconception, I know. But let's go with it. Humor me. Unless we want to become ostriches, what we should do is not suddenly say, wow, another strain. We should realize, we should have followed science, believed in science, thought a bit more rationally and intelligently, rather than just saying, no, we surely cannot continue like this. We should have realized two simple things. And it all boils down to these two things that we could perhaps have done better, and we certainly did not do them well enough. One, we should have realized, and a lot of people from the World Health Organization to a lot of intelligent people said to us, if we do not deal with this virus, pandemic, call it what you will, globally, we will never be able to deal with it locally. We didn't learn that. We thought if we get all the jabs, all the boosters here, then we don't need anything else, we're okay. Wrong. And the second thing that we didn't subscribe to is that we pretended rather glibly, somewhat ignorantly, and very selfishly that we're already in a post-pandemic epoch. And that is something that we should have desisted from pretending. We should have realized that that is not true, that we are not in a post-pandemic situation. Anybody could realize that. What is it that is so difficult to realize? And here we are today, in this pickle, in this difficult spot, once more. And I really don't know what's going to happen. I really hope that everything I said can be proven to be wrong. That tomorrow, some clever scientist will say, no, actually, the vaccines are okay. But then again, how many people have been vaccinated outside some of the developed countries or the countries that have the money to afford it? Somebody might say that and everything will be hunky-dory and Christmas and New Year will be on again. But you know, the likelihood is that the exact opposite is going to happen. And I'm not only worried about proving somebody right or wrong, or about the health of this person or that person, my health for that matter, or whether I'm right or wrong. What I'm really worried about is the crushing effect this seesawing attitude to the pandemic is doing to our morals, to our mental health. And you know what? Physical health, if we are lucky, long COVID notwithstanding, for most cases can be helped and hopefully cured. Mental health is far, far more difficult to cure, takes more time, more energy, more dedication, and far more NHS resources, which we can also ill afford. sorry to be the harbinger of bad news. As I said, I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm right, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Good health to you all.